Before we start part 4, let me clarify one important point. So far, our main application has been built in ASP.NET 10 MVC. We used it for uploads, text extraction, and chunking. But for embeddings, I am introducing a small Python FastAPI service. Why? Because Python has excellent support for embedding models and AI libraries. So instead of putting everything inside the ASP.NET MVC project, we will keep the embedding logic in a separate microservice. ASP.NET 10 will remain the main web application. Python FastAPI will handle one focus job, converting text chunks into vector embeddings. So in this video, we will not run the ASP.NET MVC app. We'll build and test the embedding service independently first. Later, we'll connect this service back to our ASP.NET 10 RAG pipeline. Step 1. We will now create a embedding service folder at the project root directory. So I am already on the project root directory and I will create a embedding service folder with this make directory command. Now the directory is created, embedding service directory. It is empty directory at the moment. Now this folder that I have just created is intentionally separate from the ASP.NET MVC project. We are adding a small microservice that can be called later from .NET or from an ingest pipeline. Now, within this embedding service folder, I will create a text file, which is requirements.txt. So requirements.txt is added. And then I pasted this code, which is on my clipboard. And the FastAPI, it provides the API layer. UVCon returns or runs the API server, and Sentence-Transformers load a ready-made embedding model. The pytest/httpx lines, these are the lines, are only needed if you later keep the test project to keep that provisioned. Okay. Now these two things, pytest and httpx, are outside this video. Next, I create a main.py file. This is a Python file within this embedding services controller, embedding service folder. And what this Python file is doing is, this is the actual embedding service. It loads all mini-LM L6 version 2. Okay, so mini-LM L6 version 2, that is the model, this one. Once at startup, and expresses a health endpoint and exposes an embed endpoint that accepts either one text value or a batch of text. The response is JSON containing embedding vectors. This all mini LM L6 version 2 is a small, fast and good enough for a practical RAG demonstration. The important thing is that each text chunk becomes a 384-dimensional vector. Now later a vector database can compare these vectors and find chunks that are semantically close to the user question. Next, we create a Dockerfile within this embedding service folder. So remember, we are doing everything so far on the embedding service folder. So we'll create the Dockerfile. Container build type Dockerfile and default image distro, and everything else we'll leave at the default. So this Dockerfile is created with some default code which we'll change. So to debug in a container, Docker desktop must be running. Remember my choice. Do you want to start Docker desktop? Yes. Okay. So my Docker desktop has started. Okay. And I now highlight everything there and delete it and put my own code on clipboard. Okay. So the Docker file is optional for local development, but why I'm doing it is that it makes the embedding service reproducible. This is useful when you want to run the service without manually configuring Python on every machine. So remember, this is optional. You may or may not do it. But for the sake of completeness, I am showing this. The next step, or step 5, is to create an ingest folder and write some script. So accordingly, I create a make directory. I use the make directory command and create an ingest directory, which is here. This is the empty ingest directory where I will write a Python file, ingest.py. So my ingest.py file is ready. Now let's see what it does. The ingest script, you can say this is a Python script. Let me get some more real estate space. All right. So this is the bridge between the generated chunks and the embedding service. What it does, it reads chunk JSON files and sends the text value to embed endpoint, receive embeddings, and writes new JSON files containing text, metadata, and vector data. The step 6, or the next step, is to add a docker-compose.yml for Qdrant preparation. Now, Qdrant is not the main demo in this part, but we are adding this file in advance because the next part will store embeddings in a vector database. And so that we can get a clean forward path, we are adding it now. So I am adding docker-compose.yml at the project root folder. And remember, it is just a text file, can be given any. I've selected text and I can give it any file extension, even the YAML extension. So this is the YAML file is created, and I'll have this code on my docker-compose.yml. So don't worry if you are not able to understand YAML. We can take it in much depth later in this part, okay? In the next step, we'll set up the Python virtual environment. So we'll go to the embedding service directory. So cd2. So embedding service directory, and then write this code. And then this part. Okay, so something is happening over here. Now on the first run, this will take a few minutes because sentence transformers and its dependencies are downloaded. Okay, we'll continue after the installation completes. So you can still see that we are setting the Python virtual environment as the transformers, sentence transformers, and its dependencies are still getting downloaded. So something is happening, and again let it complete, and we'll come back after the complete installation is over, and then we'll start the step 8, which will be the starting the embedding service. Now our Python environment is done loading all its dependencies and the sentence transformers, and we have come back to our folder embedding service. Now within this embedding service folder, I will start the service using the Python executable inside the virtual environment. So we are already gone through the setting the Python virtual environment and other allied stuff. So we'll give this command. Look at this, what will happen now. Watch out for these changes. Now this command starts the FastAPI embedding service using the Python environment where all required packages were installed. Okay. This is an important response to get UVCon running on HTTP. This Control C to quit. So application startup complete. That means we have got success. So we've been able to successfully start the embedding service. That is the step 8 over now. So here is the health endpoint, which shows status OK and model all mini LM L6 version 2. Now this confirms the embedding service is alive and the model is loaded. Now let's open Swagger at localhost 8000/docs, and FastAPI automatically gives us this Swagger UI for testing an embedding endpoint. Okay, so let's try it out with this JSON. What is retrieval augmented generation, and click on execute. Now we'll see the response. This is the response status OK, and this is the code. Successful response 200 OK. Now this response, you see, this is a 384 dimensional matrix, and this will always contain numeric arrays. The important point is that one text input produces one vector, and every vector has 384 values for this model. Now let's test a batch request. Let me test a batch request of 3 text actually. Click on execute. So you get the curl command, and this is the embed, this is the request URL, and still again we get this embeddings response body. So this is the matrix. All right, each of these 3 vectors or 3 chunks of text or 3 strings will have 384 dimension values or 384 values. Okay. Now one of the final steps in showing the phase, this part 4 completed demo, is to run the ingest pipeline. So I opened another PowerShell terminal and moved into the this embedding service folder. It was already on the embedding service, and I ran the ingest script, and I got this result: found 3 chunks, received 3 embeddings. Okay, and wrote embeddings to this folder. Now this is the ingest script, which reads the sample chunk JSON file from test chunks folder, sends their text values to the running embedding service, receives embeddings, and writes enriched JSON files into test chunks with embeddings folder. Okay, that means we now move from plain text chunks to enriched chunk files that contain the original text, metadata, and embedding vectors. So these 2 screens, this is the server. We have kept the server started in order for the client to use this, and this is the client. And final test is we have verified the output file with this get content, and it says the chunk1.json is the ID, and text is the retrieval augmented generation combines search with language models to answer questions. Now you can check it physically here. This is chunk1.json. Retrieval augmented generation combines search with language models to answer questions. And meta source is ragintro.pdf page 1. Okay, that's it.